I'm going to have to do
Boom.
something because I think that's part of my problem.
I believe it.
One of several.
Amen.
Amen.
Hi.
Welcome to Key the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the handsomely Randy Twyford.
And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 105.
105.
Sounds like an FM radio station.
That's what I was about to say. 105.
Right here on FM 105.
KJJY.
105.
KJJY. You know what 105 actually?
105.5 is the Hispanic music here, I think.
105. That's about how many pounds I'm down now.
Shut
Is
the
it really?
hell up.
105.
I can believe it.
That's just a lot of weight.
That's
actually
2 sacks
it's
of
actually
feed.
it's actually probably more than that.
Let's give a round of applause.
From my all-time high.
I was looking at some thumbnails the other day, and some of them I'm like, I can't believe that's what we looked like. The first podcast thumbnail, Darren and I looked like two potatoes. Yeah. We looked like both of us. We looked like balloons blown up.
Even it's coming up on just a year, and it's crazy.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I feel like I feel it was May when I started the whole deal with my doctor, and I feel like I'm a health consultant now with half the barbecue world.
Oh, I bet you are.
I mean, They're just all like, "Hey, what'd you do? Whatever." And so then they're constantly giving me updates. It's like, "Hey, I'm down 25 pounds, whatever." It's like I'm just, I'm behind the scenes motivational coach because I don't put anything really on social media about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no.
I'm not really that guy. I mean, a lot of people do that.
Oh, yeah.
To hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And I don't. I don't at all. But
you don't need it.
It just it's funny. It's funny because it's like I'm constantly, I went through this stretch, and it's your brain fucks with you, right? And your brain fucks with you, and you go through these stages where you just get stuck. And I was stuck for like months at this same weight. No matter what I did, I was stuck. And then and so I was on this, medicine that made you never hungry, right? And my doctor like, just go off of it. I'm like, what? He goes, just go off of it. And I went off of it, and I never gained any weight back. He goes, just go off of it for 30 days and go back on. Trick it. Trick your mind. I'm like, okay. Fine. So I went back on it, and then the first week I'm like, fuck, this didn't, I wasn't really hungry when I went off of it because my body had adjusted to my new lifestyle of living, but I had a little bit of sweet cravings that I went totally away from it when I was on it. And then, so I went back on it, and those went, like all that noise just went away. It was your brain. It just went away. And so then all of a sudden it's like this week, boop, down 4 pounds. It's like started all over again, and it's just nuts. I mean, it's just
that's exciting
crazy.
though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over 100 pounds. That's a big deal.
That's 2 sacks of cattle feed.
I know. You think about that. It's like fucking carrying that around every day. And I think it's like I have so much energy now.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I could only imagine.
I mean, it's like, here it is. What's today? Today's Sunday. We're recording Sunday morning. Here it is.
It's my mom's birthday.
I know, 420.
Blazing.
So it's Saturday night, or Saturday, all day yesterday. I was on a mad ass run. I mean, we had family pictures. We had all kinds of restaurant shit happening. We had just whatever. And finally at 8:00 last night, we get home, and you would think, oh, let's go ahead and shut this down. Oh, no. Hey, we got these planter buckets. I'd like to get these planter buckets so I'm ready to plant tomatoes and all this stuff. I need some rock. I'm going to Home Depot. Are they still open? Yep, they're open till 9. Okay, I'm going to Home Depot.
God.
Sherry looks at me like, what?
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Home Depot. Okay, well, guess we're going to Home Depot. So off we go to Home Depot, get some rock, come back. I mean, fuck, here I am filling full of rock and potting soil and fucking, I had the sawzall out and fucking making these cages and whatever. And it's pitch fucking dark out. The neighbors are probably going, what in the
What the
fuck?
hell's he doing?
What the hell am I doing? And then this morning, it's like 3:30. I'm like, whoo, let's go again. Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So I mean, 5:00 this morning, I'm out at the jam. I'm fucking weeding and feed. I'm got the weed and feed and spreading I'm like, cause it's supposed to rain today. And I'm like, oh, get this weed and feed on. Let's get her done.
Right.
People are driving by going, what in the fuck is this guy doing fertilizing the yard at 5:00 in the morning? It's just crazy.
like not surprising at all for you. So
It's not.
I mean, it is that you had that much energy last night. This morning, no. People probably saw you and were like, "Oh, there's Darren."
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really weird that you get into
The
this.
leaving the house that late on a Saturday night does not sound like fun to me.
But it's funny because like back to the eating thing, it's like Sherry on eating very healthy all week long. Because I love to cook at home, and I mean I love. We've been doing a lot of like just rice bowls and sweet potato rice bowls and just
Sure.
I'm just or a grilled pork chop or whatever. And so like she's like, I want a burger. I'm like, okay, we'll have a burger, right? So I made a smash burger. How do you fuck up a burger? But I fucked up the burger because I never cook them. I got it like way overdone. My thermometer was off and it wasn't a smash burger. It was a grill top burger. And I didn't smash it all the way. I tried to leave it thick, and I'm measuring the temperature. I'm like, I'll just take it to like 145. Well, evidently that probe was off because it was like well ass done. And she's eating. I'm like, this isn't very good. And she's like, no. I'm like, yeah. See, that's why we shouldn't eat burgers around here. Well,
There
then
you
the
go.
next night we get home, she's like, God, I'm just in the mood for pizza. And I'm like, are you shitting me? I'm finally starting to lose weight, and now you want to eat like shit again? Okay, off we go to pizza. So so we got a little small pizza, and I had a little salad and ate like 4 pieces of, small little pieces of Hilltop pizza. Of course, had cheese on it, and being lactose intolerant. So then I had a fucking gut ache all yesterday. Learned my lesson there. Well, then we had to go to a birthday party for a 4-year-old yesterday, right? Pizza Ranch. Oh boy. So I just kind of hit the salad bar, had one little slice of some vegetarian pizza that hardly had any cheese on it, which was great, and two little pieces of fried chicken. And that was good. And so I was still on the scale. I was still down. I'm losing about a half pound a day. So I'm still, but it's going to be a little challenging next weekend. We're off to Austin, Texas. Off to Austin, Texas. We're going down with Brian and Carrie Luke and their son and some friends, and we're going to Still Austin Distillery to drill into some barrels and pick a private stock bourbon barrel.
Nice.
A single barrel. So they want me to go help taste, which I don't drink anymore, but that's okay. I'll go taste and we'll pick out a barrel. So we're going to pick out a barrel for their convenience store, a private barrel, and then we're going to go on a barbecue tour. The guy that actually is their rep at the distillery actually does tours. And then on Friday, I'm so excited we get to go to Burnt Bean. And Ernest Cervantes, I've sent 1,000 people there, and I've never been there myself. And we are so excited to go to Burnt Bean that it's like, so it's going to be hard to maintain the calorie.
Sure.
That's all right. Every once in a while, it's okay to enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So anyway, but then we'll come home. We're flying home Sunday. And then Monday morning, we're going to hop right back on a plane and go to Florida. So I'll just walk 5 miles a day when I get to Florida.
There you go. Pick up an extra mile while you're down there.
Yeah, just get 5 miles a day in and go to an all seafood diet, and I'll be good.
Be great. Well,
It'd be great.
congrats.
It'd be great. Thanks. The century mark.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I wish I could lose that much. I don't really
You
have that
you
much to
wouldn't weigh
lose, so.
anything. You don't have that much
No.
to lose. People, yeah, I only want to lose about.
Actually,
I want to lose about 12 more pounds. That's my
Right.
12. The doctor says 12 more pounds. 12 more pounds takes me off all my medicines. So I've lost.
Good
the
for you.
CPAP. I've lost the CPAP, and
You know, I've
Isn't that
had
crazy?
some sinus problems this week, and so I've been sleeping a lot. I had a sinus infection, just knocked the shit out of me. And
damn, you're always sick.
yeah, I know. And I
You're
take
worse
all
than a
kinds of
teacher.
immune stuff. And
That's probably what it is.
yeah, you're exactly right, Emma. All the shit I take to make my immunity up, you know. So, but I haven't been using my CPAP as much, and I haven't seen a bit of difference from when the only difference I've seen you don't have to fight with it. You know, you don't have to deal with it and stuff. So I'm about like you. I'm thinking pretty serious about kicking it to the curb.
yeah, I had to adjust. You know, Randy and I talked. I stopped using it, and then I woke up and I was getting nosebleeds because I was throwing, you know, so much moisture into my because it had a built-in humidifier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I was getting nosebleeds every morning. So Randy got me on this nasal rinse, which gave me worse nosebleeds, Randy.
Did it really?
Yeah. And so I ended up putting we went and bought a humidifier
Oh, okay.
and put it on my nightstand. And so now I'm not getting nosebleeds, but I can't blow my nose. If I blow my nose, I get a nosebleed. So
I'll be damned.
I'm
I don't feel like
2
our
days.
listeners needed to know that.
Yeah, they do. So I'm 2 days straight
It's
without
life.
not having one, but I'm scared to, so I'm just not going to blow my nose for a few more days and see.
See if everything gets healed up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gross.
gross. So if I'm like this,
We all
it's
do that.
'cause I'm
If
scared.
editing this podcast, I feel bad for our listeners because all three of us are like all the time.
We are.
I brought my hanky
Especially-
with me today. I brought my hanky
Well,
with
we
me.
know you've already blown your nose.
Give her a big
Brought my
Especially
hanky.
Well, at
if
least he's not doing the old farmer
Yeah.
blow.
Yeah, out in the middle
That's
of the
true.
street.
well, and I noticed that it's really bad for me on the mornings where I just get up and we immediately record. So I tried to get up a little bit earlier today and like let my body wake up. But then, because most
I
days,
feel less
like last week,
nasally with the CPAP. I think the CPAP causes a lot of. Well, Grandpa Cheese told me that a long time ago. He says you're on that CPAP too long, it's going to cause a lot of problems long term nasal.
on tracks.
See, that's
Makes
what I'm
sense.
thinking about. Part of my having this sinus infection is part of that CPAP.
Yeah.
Probably is. Probably needs a good deep clean.
Well, I'm not going to argue that. I get one, but I am too cheap to buy one of those machines to clean it and everything. So
That's why you're getting sinus
that's why I get sick and spend so much on copay at doctor's offices.
Yeah, because you got
Randy,
mold growing in the sun.
We literally just solved your problem.
Yeah. Trust me, I've thought about it, and I just don't want to.
You don't even have to solve it. All you have to do,
Stop
all you
using-
really have to do is grab some white vinegar once a week and fill it full in the morning, and then that night dump it out, and it'll be totally clean.
Let it run
Yeah.
all day.
No,
Just let
No.
it sit.
no,
Just set in the tank.
just let it sit in the tank.
Okay. But I think you need to clean the hoses and all that stuff too.
Well, you can let the hose sit and just fill the hose full of white vinegar and let it sit, and then just rinse her out.
I'm going to have to
Boom.
do something because I think that's part of my problem.
I believe it.
One of several.
Amen.
Amen. Boy, now that we got this health podcast out of the way,
Yeah, no kidding.
On the health
now on to
segment.
barbecue on 105.
now on to barbecue life. What's new in the barbecue world, Randy?
Well, I'm getting ready to leave. I know you're going to Austin. I'm going to New York City next weekend.
New York City.
New
Get a
York
rope.
City.
Get a rope.
Whoa.
It's for the Jeff Mitchner benefit at Pig Beach. He's a chef that passed away all of a sudden, and so they did it's kind of like a Big Apple block party, but a miniature version. And they did a benefit for him, and then it went over so well they've created a foundation, and now they do it every year for chefs that pass away and for their help their families out and stuff like that. So I'm going to be making mini farms, and when you look at some of the other stuff that people are making, it's like that's all I'm making. You know, you got
people eat your shit out of yours. Speaking of pig, look at that! Look at that! I got the 17th Street barbecue.
Yep, Amy and Philip will be there. They're doing a whole hog.
This is another thing. This was Sherry's sweatshirt she gave to me. I get Sherry's hand-me-downs now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving Thursday to go out there and going to be out there for the weekend. So that ought to be an adventure.
Sherry's
That's awesome.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I've never been to the Big Apple. I don't think I want to go either.
Oh, no, it's fun. 3 days.
Well,
3 days. 3 days.
Yeah.
4 days, too much. 3 days, perfect.
Here's the thing about me. I watch a lot of crime documentaries.
Oh,
and I don't like people. And I just feel like New York City and I would not get along. That's probably where I would die. Sorry, there's a lot of serial killers up there.
I'm going to be honest with you. There's
in the 70s and 80s.
When I used to go out there to the block party, I really wasn't concerned, but I'm concerned now about with all the crime and everything out there. I'm going to kind of watch where I go and what I do and stuff. And
I'm an easy target. Actually, I'm not an easy target. And you want to know why?
How many people is in that city? 50 million?
Yeah.
A couple get shot. A few 10,000 get shot every day. What the hell?
Here's a statistic that you guys probably wouldn't even want to know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I have less of a chance of getting abducted and murdered because I have tattoos. So I'm identifiable, and people don't like that. So actually, I'm safe because I decided to permanently mark my body in very identifiable ways. So actually, I'd probably be fine.
Wait.
I have less of a chance of getting murdered because I have tattoos.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, okay, wait. Let's see, Emma. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're going to walk around the street going, I'm tattooed, don't shoot.
No. It's like they might abduct me.
Hey there. What was that one dude that was famous for a little bit? Hey. There.
What's up, brother?
What's up? Yeah, you go, what's up? What's up? Man, he kind of fell off the face of the earth, didn't he?
I mean, Randy, he had quite a scandal. So,
what was a scandal? I can't remember.
Let's not get into it.
Everybody's got a scandal.
That's true. But no, I would just wear short sleeves.
Huh?
Oh.
We need us a scandal.
That's exactly right.
Don't think we do.
We need us a scandal.
Your producer, I'm going to veto that.
We need us a scandal. We need us one of them go to the moon and back or go on one of them space thing and hit the ground and open the door accidentally and then go,
sorry, I wasn't supposed to open
sorry,
it.
Didn't mean to open the door accidentally, but here, let me get the wrench and try and open it for you.
Yeah. I just saw that yesterday on the news, Fox, as a matter of fact. I'm like, what a deal.
Oh.
Jesus. Anyway.
Jesus.
So what's new in your barbecue world? The world of restaurants and such.
Broken shit, fixing broken shit. We got a bar cooler, got that all, got a brand new one in, got it in place, plugged it in, broke.
Really?
Yeah. Called out the service company that warrantied it. They come out. Yeah. The part brand new leaking refrigerant.
Oh, gee, Christmas.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
Toledo.
tough.
Yeah.
That is a tough one.
Yeah, brand fucking new. But I mean, that's the problem is they get that copper that comes from overseas, and it's thin walled copper, and it
Micro
just
thin.
blows. Well, the problem is all this new refrigerant is super high pressure. The
Okay.
techs tell me this, so it's super high pressure. So if you don't have strong copper walls in those lines, it just blows them out. And we've seen that happen with a lot of new equipment.
Have
And
you
this,
really?
yeah, and this brand new, brand spanking new. And they say they test everything. That's bullshit. But anyway, but it came all the way from California. Imagine that. Come all the way from California, plugged it in. So here we are. 2 weeks later, we still don't have a bottle cooler.
So the tech people haven't fixed it yet?
Well, they came out on Friday. We got them out there on Friday finally,
Okay.
and they have to order parts for it. And
Okay, of course.
well, of course, and because nobody stocks parts.
Kind of like me
Nobody stocks
waiting for
parts.
prices on getting a generator fixed or replaced.
Yep,
Been 2 weeks, nothing.
yep. And then the food truck, the food truck's still sitting at the diesel shop. They finally
that
said
thing
they got
is-
to it, and I thought it was some big thing, and he's like, it's just it's a little O-ring on the parking brake reservoir,
I'll be damned.
and he's like, but they don't stock the part anymore, so we're going to have to find an O-ring that fits it or make kind of an O-ring. I'm like, just seal it. Just can
seal
you just
it.
make a gasket? And he's like, yeah, but I didn't want to do that without you telling me. I'm like, it's
That's
just
fair.
a damn parking brake.
Yeah, but you'll never
But
use it.
You just need to get somebody to get it
Yeah.
fixed up enough to sell it. Hopefully they won't listen to this podcast, and then they can fix it themselves.
It's fine. Well, so anyway, I just don't want it leaking. I mean, I want it to fix so it's just a parking brake. It's no big deal. And so then he goes, and I told him to do the once through on it because I want it to be good. So I said, hey, I want you to change the oil and I want you to do the once through on it, just like you normally would for me to get it in season, ready to go. And he goes, by the way, your front shocks are both broke. $650 and your wiper blades. I'm like, okay, go ahead, just fix it. So I'm gonna. By God, normally I get $8,500 a year into that son bitch. I guarantee I'm going to get $3,000 into this fucker before I get a chance to sell it.
Don't even talk to me about that.
I'm like, I'd like to get it back though, so I could sell it because it is food truck season. It is a good time to sell it.
Yeah.
So, but I'll probably get it back Monday or Tuesday, and then I'm going to go out of town for 10 days. So,
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. But other than that, they've been working on desserts, and we're working on some May specials. I think I heard tell we're working on some sort of brisket like empanada that's made with masa, and I don't know. It's almost like a tamale type thing, but it's got brisket and jalapenos and cheese and stuff in it that was really good. I never got a chance to try it, but just trying to do a couple things. Bring back fried ice cream for the month of May. We did that before. That was a pretty big hit. Just trying to get ahead. New flavors of Jarfay. We finally got some shut your pie hole cheesecakes.
Oh, nice.
In. So we brought in 8 or 10 cheesecakes for my sister. They had some that they didn't sell out of. So I said, just bring them to me. So I brought them up, and they were a little bit of funky flavors, some peach amaretto and some Bailey's Irish cream, and the ones that were popular like the Rolo and the chocolate chip, they sold out like crazy. But we got we got a few slices left, but they pretty much this week we sold out between the jam and Smoky D's. We sold out all of them. So
well, good.
That's pretty
I think
good.
we just need to get some mainstream cheesecakes in there, and I think they'll sell like hotcakes. But
yeah, if they're selling like that now, just kind of some oddball stuff.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah, just another. We got a lot of dessert options now. Lots of dessert options. I'm almost wondering if we ought to put out a dessert company out on the DoorDash
No.
in the ghost kitchen?
Probably not.
No, you don't think so?
No, not yet. Just
Finally
because.
got our breakfast catering menu done for the jam. We haven't got it posted online, but customer sent me a message saying, "Hey, do you got breakfast catering?" I'm like, "Yeah, here, let me send you this brand new menu." And she responded back, "Boom, here, I'll just take this."
That's nice.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
and we've seen an increase in business. We booked four caterings for the ornery chicken.
Oh,
That's
okay.
good.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Graduation.
that's picking up. Great. Well, yeah, we had one yesterday, and then we've got 3 graduations picking up. We got one wedding, a late night wedding.
Oh.
Wanted us to do munchy food.
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah,
market for you
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So anyway, um,
That's
yeah.
exciting.
So that's picking up. We're still featuring the ranch hand at Smoky D's. Are still people wanting to know how they can get it, and we're still struggling with, that people can't grasp the concept of the ghost kitchen. They
Okay.
I think the ghost kitchen was so ahead of Des Moines' time.
Yeah, but
You know what
when
I
does
mean?
it catch
I
up? I mean, because
I don't
people
know.
they want to come
It's
in and
still
order at the counter, but
well, you're
it,
still like
it
the only one. I mean, all the other ones are at big, like they're ghost kitchens that are
yeah,
coming out of large franchises, so people are clueless still, like they
yeah,
don't, it doesn't
they're
matter.
not picking
Yeah.
up, but people still want that ornery chicken crafty mac. They wanted it at a carry out counter, and
Do you think that's
oh,
what you're gonna do?
I don't know, because then I have to sacrifice quality
But
because
okay, I think we've had this discussion before. Do you think you really have to sacrifice quality that much? Because in my head, people that come in and order are aware of wait time. Like they're not going to just assume it's ready. Like if they come into Smoky D's, they're not. I mean, sometimes it can take a little bit for them to get their food. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
I just
here,
like
where do you put them?
right there in that.
At Smoky D's, they got a
You
bar.
just
They can go around. They can roam around. Here,
okay. Do you know what 98% of your carry out people do? They sit at that bench and scroll on their phones. It's the same thing everywhere.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
you should I think maybe that's the next move. If this is a cuz we've what Honor Chicken's been around for 4 years now
yeah,
and you're still having this one issue. Might
yeah.
be
I
time.
know the problem. The only problem is we've got a bakery in the middle. We got a
Yeah.
bakery in the middle of the kitchen and where we would put the front counter.
Right.
Right. So
Which at a point, yeah.
every order has to take an extra 50 steps to get to it. Right.
Right.
Okay. Oh, I think you're thinking too hard about it.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking too hard about it.
What do you think? We ought to put a train system in? Ooh.
Well, Chick-fil-A does that.
They just opened one of those up in Springfield.
I'm just saying.
Circular deal.
I think sometimes because I respect that you have the thinking about the customer mindset. Sometimes I think you think too hard about the customer. You know what I mean? Like you're overthinking it. I don't think people are even gonna second guess. They just want to order. They just need a place to put in an order and
Yeah.
go about their day. They're not
Yeah.
gonna even second guess the time or any of that stuff. They're just not because
Yeah.
you're not It's not like you're gonna be the first person to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people have already. They already have the expectations of, okay, I'm going to go to this place. Well, if I'm ordering there, they're going to have to make my meal. They're going to expect it to be fresh. They get more annoyed when it's not. So
Right.
they're
I
going to
agree
know
with
that
you.
it takes they know it's going to take some time because they understand that. And if they
Right.
don't, then that's on them. And then that's when you say, listen, Karen, fun fact. The world does not just happen at the snap of your fingers.
Oh, Karen was upset with me this week at the jam because I don't have a phone number because she wanted to call and talk business. And I said, Karen, if you would have called, if I would have had a phone number, you would have called and talked to a waitress. But instead, by sending an email, you're talking to the owner. What would you like to talk business about? You know, and
what she wanted to talk about?
Well, she wanted to talk about how I was not treating the older generation fairly and how they really wanted to place an order online. They really wanted to talk to somebody to place an order. And I'm like, you know, the fact of the matter is the older generation wants to come in and sit down and eat. They don't want to call and do carry out. They want to come in and eat. The younger generation wants to do all the fancy shit, and they got the technology. And you're saying you don't want to do this, and you just sent me a message on Facebook. So don't tell me you don't do social media because, you know, whatever. I'm like, Karen.
Amen. Because I hate phone calls. I mean,
well,
okay,
that's why we didn't. That's why we didn't do it because
I should reword that because I know that my mom listens to this podcast and she's gonna be like, "That's a lie." I like talking to my people on the phone. I would like to have conversations via phone calls. I don't like talking to strangers on the phone. I don't like calling in orders. I don't like the idea of like I would rather have the chances of an order getting messed up being my fault and not theirs.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And it takes it from a restaurant perspective. It takes 5 times longer to take somebody's order over the phone. Oh,
I would agree.
What do you have for omelets? Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Well, what's this? What's on this? Well, I don't. I want that one, but I don't want this. Oh, well, no, we need to do this. And so now all of a sudden we're going to tie up an employee. So we would have a full-time person or hiring an answering service to handle to do that order. Or I could say, hey,
go to our website.
I could hire an answering service, and guess what? Yes, we're going to answer this phone call, but we are adding 10% to every order to pay for this service.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you can do it
then
online.
They'd race. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't understand the wanting to place an order on the phone. You know, like I would rather I would rather be able to see the menu and order at my own pace and, you know, see like, oh, how can I modify this? You know, like not.
Oh, no. So that's the other problem we have in our POS system because we have, that's the way our menu is developed.
Yeah.
So we have certain items that you can't modify, right? And we give you a discount for not modifying. But then we also have a build your own.
Right.
So like you can order a carne platter. So a carne platter says, hey, I'm going to get loaded hash brown, which is a carne platter with peppers and onions and ham and cheese. Okay. And you get that for $10.99, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want the carne platter with no onions, you can't just get that. You need to order a build your own with ham, whatever. And that's going to cost you probably $1 more.
Right.
Right. Which we got our ass chewed for. And the waitress got no tipped and customer irate because of that this week. But online, they can't do that. They can't say, because we left that thing that says, I want to leave comments. We took it out.
Right.
Right. You can't leave comments on our online order.
And
the problem is we have customers that want to put a name in. So I wish Toast had a name field that we could just put a name field in there because we have customers that place 10 orders. I'd like them to be able to, hey, this order is Gary's. So that we could say, hey, this box is Gary's. But Toast doesn't have that. Why? I can't open up that field because if I open up that field, they're going to go, oh, I want the carne platter. Oh, no onions, no whatever. And then when I don't do it, they're going to say, hey, I didn't do it.
Toast doesn't have an ability for you to put like a limited amount of characters.
I don't think so. I think, and I need to look at that, because if it is, then if we could put
Yeah.
6 characters,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Um, I just this is just it's just I don't know
it's tough.
how well, and is somebody, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's my generation, I don't know, but I don't understand the concept of going to a restaurant and like I understand maybe modifying a little bit like, oh, I don't want onions on something, but I don't understand going to a restaurant and expecting somebody to like ordering something and expecting them to completely deconstruct and reconstruct it when I could have just made it at home the way I wanted it. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
I
people every day, but we give them, you can build it
I
any way you
just
want it. That's why we
You've
have build
yeah.
your own options.
Well,
You got
and
your
that
build
used to
that
drive
own,
me.
build your own.
That used to drive me nuts with the basic chick because people would order like the ranch hand and then completely deconstruct it and reconstruct it. And I'm like, why didn't you just order the plain chicken sandwich and build it? That we literally
Right.
give you that option. It's like sometimes you just maybe don't look hard enough, and it could be this. This is just the whole thing. It's just something I just don't understand. I don't understand it, and it's like to
Yeah.
me it just seems like common sense. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to dog anyone that just doesn't think like that. It's just I just don't get it. And that's something I wish I could grasp. Like why do you think that way? But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
tough.
think it's weird. I think it's
That
weird
whole
when
thing is tough. The
uh,
balance of, and the
it's just like
menu is,
yeah.
because you're trying to balance speed in the kitchen. And that's why we
Yeah.
did things like, hey, the carne platter is the carne platter, no substitutions. Because then, the cook can see carne platter, boom, done, it's done. Except for carne platter, no onion. Then you got to go, okay, what's on a carne platter? No, okay, leave the onion. Where if it's carne platter, we can pre-build all the ingredients of the carne platter in a little boat, have 20 of them ready to go,
Right?
and then
Yeah.
all we have to do is boom. If it's no onion, then we got to manually build it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it slows the line down. And so
Yeah.
the faster we can go, the more people we can move through,
Yeah.
and
I
they just don't understand. But anyway, nonetheless, I mean, getting rolled out pizza this week, starting to get more and more pizzas. I mean, I think we baked 10 pizzas yesterday, which
That's
hasn't
exciting.
even been on social media. Rave reviews on the crust. People are going
Really?
crazy on the
That's good.
crust
Good
and how
deal.
good it
Yeah,
is.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Even though still working on baking crust this morning, we're still trying to get that exact process of the crust down,
Mm-hmm.
because we're playing around with the pizza, about how long should we proof it in the refrigerator and take it out, and how long should it rest before because we're par baking that crust. So it's like so we played around with yesterday, only letting it rise for a little bit and then go ahead and baking them off. They look really good. And then he left some in the refrigerator for me overnight. I took them out this morning. Now I'm letting them, and I'm going to press them off and bake them this morning and see, the consistency of the crust and what's the best process. We're trying to dial it into an exact science, because we were finding that the longer we left it in the refrigerator, it was getting a lot more gluten in it. And when we went to press it, we were getting a smaller pizza for the same. I'm like, we can't have a
Oh,
smaller pizza. We got to have a bigger dough. So it was taking more dough.
Sure.
that makes sense.
So,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Interesting.
Still
Yeah.
exciting.
So exciting.
So the lady you're not taking care of the senior citizens.
I'm not taking care of the senior citizen. And it come to find out, she doesn't even live anywhere around here. She just wanted to order something as she was driving through here.
Huh.
I mean, you can still walk in the door. You can still walk in the door and order something, and you're going to have your order in 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. But you're in such a hurry, but you had to go back and forth. You had to spend a half hour on Facebook Messenger with me going back and forth.
Dickering
I
back
just,
and forth.
I just, just hope her alerts were on because I was blowing up her alerts at 4:00 in the morning. I always try and blow up people's alerts at 4:00 in the morning.
Get up early.
I just hope their alerts are on. Ding, ding, ding. Who the hell's
Yeah.
bugging me at 4:00 in the morning?
Well,
You
that
bugged
doesn't
me
always.
at 10 o'clock last night, so
Yep, exactly.
that's kind of how I look at it.
I don't miss those days at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody even checks Smokey D's messages out there.
It was a workout in itself. I used to just spend a day looking at those. But it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. All part
It's
of the game.
fine. Yeah.
Part of the game.
People have the rights to their own opinions.
So what else? What else we got?
I don't know. What else do we have?
I don't know. Any customers? Any?
We have had a couple of comments. We did have a request. Somebody asked if we would start releasing podcast episodes every day. And I just thought we should address that here. We don't have the time to even really make this one. So
Right.
we'll stick to one a week.
Yeah.
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 Please.
I mean, we could break it into 15 different segments if you want, Emma. And we could do little 5-minute segments every day.
Do I want to? No.
Okay.
I like one
Then
full
end of
episode.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of story.
I was just, again, customer, we appreciate your opinion. We don't agree with it. I can't do that. We also got another question that was, a listener asked, how do you grow your catering business by not using social media ads? So how do you organically grow it? Which is a bit of a trick question, I feel. But
Why do you think you have to use social media or Facebook ads?
because people that use social media ads, it's to grow. It's so that they're hitting a certain demographic because social media ads
Right.
go out to a very specific, and it's so that it generates ads and things like that you normally wouldn't
Get to those
look.
people.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
see,
how
I think
any
that
advertisement works.
See, I'm the guy that says that's all bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
I would agree with you,
I-
Darren.
I think how do you grow your catering business? First, the way we grew our catering business when we first started was you go to your school. You go to your school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to your school, you go to you figure out where there's a lot of people involved, right?
Exactly.
And you get involved. So we used to use high school athletic banquets was our first start. I wanted to do the food at those athletic banquets at a discount. I always gave our schools 20% discount. And so we wanted to get into those schools because I wanted mom to be there. I wanted dad. I wanted grandpa, grandma to taste that food because the most important part of catering and the only reason we have restaurants is so people will taste the food and hopefully cater it. Right?
Same with the food truck.
So, and the same with Randy's food truck. So you got to get the food in people's mouths. Now, you don't want to give it away, but you want to give any opportunity you can to get your food in people's mouths. Once you can get it in their mouths, and if you have good food, you're going to be successful catering. And so it's the spider web, right? It's the spider web. What are you laughing at, Emma?
And I think when you
How many times you said "get it in their mouth" made me chuckle.
Get it in your mouth.
Okay, don't say it like that.
but I think social media is important also, but
Social
just
media does its best organically. And
Exactly.
I stand by that. People, the more you use social media ads, it's, in my opinion, from experience, because I used to run a couple of social media ads for Smokey D's. I don't even know if Darren knew that, but and for the Henri Chicken when we started, just to try to get it out there, and it didn't do anything.
It
didn't do anything. No, there wasn't enough of a it wasn't enough of a reach for it to be worth it. So what really helped us from a marketing standpoint was a lot of actually was cross marketing. So, and a lot of people don't have that opportunity, but also email marketing would have been where we really would have thrived, which
Yeah.
is annoying because we constantly talk about how much we don't like email marketing on
Right.
here, but it is probably one of the most beneficial marketing tools you can use, because even though it's annoying that person, like, and you have the chance of unsubscribing, they also see the email notification and most likely just go about their day, and then it sits in their email inbox, so they see your name constantly. You know what I mean? So the email marketing itself, maybe like what's in the email might not draw in what you want it to, but it's the fact that they're constantly seeing that name that keeps you on their mind. Like, that's what really helps, is that you're constantly getting directly into their personal um personal inbox, and they're seeing you all the time. The problem with social media ads and social media marketing, and this is just a thing that I'll stand by till it changes, is that the way the algorithm is set up on Facebook and Instagram makes it so hard for you to be seen organically and also through social media ads unless you pay them a buttload of money. So if you're paying for social media ads, you have to be paying them a pretty hefty amount for it to even really do any damage, like hundreds of dollars. And when you're posting organically, the way the algorithm is set up, you're not showing up for people when you want to be showing up for people. So if you're doing like a special, there's a good chance that no one's going to see that content for 6 days. So then by that point it's irrelevant. So it's just one of those uphill battles, and Darren and I used to get into this argument constantly cuz he's like, you need to be posting multiple times every single day. No, because Facebook will mark you as a spam account, and that will
I
hurt your
agree.
business because they'll stop showing your content to people, which will make you even harder to find. So the best practice is to post once about every 3 to 4 days,
That's what I've
honestly.
been told.
Yeah. So it's just, you want to post something that the best interaction is something that can be personalized for the consumer, if that makes sense. So like when you're posting on social media, you want to post something that it makes you look like a human and less like a business. So people want to see the human side of the business, if that makes sense. Our best engagement was when Darren was in the post when I worked at Smoky D's. Hands down. Wasn't even
What's not? What's
close.
not? What's not to?
Yeah. What?
What's not to love when Darren's in the post?
Oh, whatever. But it, and like same with probably Randy stuff. That's why he's so involved with the social media, is because they want to see who's running the business, or they want to see the employees in the business. They want to see the backside of the business. They want to feel included. You
Exactly.
posting like your menu items, that'll help a little bit because it'll be like, "Oh, hey, that looks good." One of the biggest, I would say that this was a slap in the face, but also I was really proud of myself. Was on the Honor Chicken one time. I posted our chicken tacos that were our tender tacos that are phenomenal. And it was this really good picture, and I was very proud of it. They looked very vibrant, very appetizing. I had multiple people tell me that they saw that post and were like, I went out and had chicken tacos that night because you made them look so good. And I was like, oh, you went to the Honor Chicken? And they go, well, no, I went to the place right down the street. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. I was like, that's not what I wanted. But I was also like, I'm glad that you saw it and were like, that looks really good. I'm pissed you didn't go to the place I wanted you to go to. But it's just one of those things of where you people just primarily want to feel like social media gets really confusing from a business aspect because you're wanting to promote the business, but consumers want to see you in the business, if that makes sense. They want to see like the human side of it and less of like the product side of it, which I think is something that is often forgotten. Your best engagement will be things where you are involved. And I don't know if that really answers that question or really gives you any information. I just went on a bit of a tangent. But
Well, the one
I
thing
think
I've
it
seen
does.
the
yeah.
one thing that seems to work pretty good for us, and it's kind of following in what you're saying, uh, Emma, is the fact that pictures of food are great, and I mean that really
Mm-hmm.
draws attention and stuff like that. But I found, as far as catering goes, pictures of events.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we do a big event, the worst part of it is trying to get pictures of it because you're
Yeah.
busy. I'm busy helping with the
Right,
catering and
right,
stuff,
right.
and that. But getting
Oh,
pictures
100%.
of a large catering, or
Yeah.
you see a lot of wedding pictures, wedding,
Seeing it in action
and
is
people
also.
like, oh, you do. That's right. I didn't realize they did weddings, so they see the
Mm-hmm.
weddings, or if somebody's having a large group, or as far as that goes, a small group. Say a 20,
Yeah,
30 type business meeting. I like to take pictures of those and put those out there, and people
exactly.
get to see that, and instead of just a pretty picture of the food. So it's
So,
kind of
yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah. So to answer your question, don't use social media ads. I'll stand by that till the day I die. Just don't. I don't think they're worth the money. You have a better shot of reaching the people you want to reach by just being organic. And that's the actual word that people use when you're posting, just as yourself. But I mean it as like be treat your business not necessarily like it's your personal Facebook. We don't want all that. But treat it like it's your page in a sense and not the business page, if that makes sense, if you get what I'm saying. So
Right.
like don't so like when it's Smoky D's, something that I wish I would have really thought about earlier and did better at, I'll own this, is that I posted it as I used to really be like, we are a food business. And what is definitely better is posting it as we are a place for people to go and spend time and hang out and eat and enjoy good food. So like treating it less as like a this is what we do and more of like a um this is what it could be for you. Does that make sense? Is like what I don't
Yeah.
know if my thoughts
Should
are
we test this today?
sure.
It's your mom's birthday.
It is. Happy
I'm
birthday, Mom.
sure I'm sure that I have a picture of your mom with some
Oh
bakery
no, don't.
item. Should I go out to the jam and say, "Hey, everybody, let's wish our head jam engineer
Actually, yeah. She's gonna be
and
pissed I said do that,
let's
but yeah.
let's let's fuck with her."
Mm. Okay, well I wouldn't call it that,
It's
but
just it'll just be a test.
yeah. Because let's
And
test
to
out our
see how
practices.
many. Now, I don't want to. We just posted about Easter, about being closed today, which I think we should have been posting the last 2 or 3 days because I've done
Oh yeah.
nothing on email except for respond to, "Are you open? Are you open? Are you open? Are you
Yeah,
open?"
no, that's a thing too. Is
We
if
just
you
posted
have
that at 4:30 this morning, but we should have been
no,
posting it at least
if
once
you
or
have a
twice this week.
closure, if you have a closure coming up, I think that's something, or like a closure or an event that you want people at, you do not want to post day of. You want to get that word out there. You want
I
to let
agree.
people know.
Yeah,
You don't
well,
want,
we didn't, and so
and
now
that's
all of a
okay. That's
sudden.
nothing.
So
Yeah,
I've been fighting emails all on all accounts. I'm like, I
yeah.
almost went out and posted something yesterday going, nope, we're closed.
It's yeah. Well, and your Google. If you guys have Google pages, you got to really keep an eye on those bad boys. It
Yeah,
sucks,
I'm
but
I'm I'm assuming that. Well, who knows? I should go look at that.
yeah, it sucks. It's tedious. Google wants to fight you tooth and nail to make sure it's everything that it's not. But
Oh,
you really
it just says open. Easter might affect these hours.
so that's something to always remember as well. If you have a Google page, you got to really stay on top of that.
But I can't just close it temporarily today.
Yeah, you can.
Can I?
I think so. Yeah, because Google is the most, from a marketing standpoint, Google's the most effective tool. So if you have like a website, go in, really load up. We talk about this a lot. Search engine optimization. Really load it up with keywords. Make
When
it.
will this? What, oh yeah. So I just did that for Google, but of course it's pending, so it'll takes 10 minutes to be reviewed. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. So, that is, yeah. If you have a business, really make sure you're staying on top of that because it can. Google is a great tool, but also it can
Can
really
be an arch
cause a lot.
nemesis.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
experienced that firsthand. Firsthand at the Honorary Chicken. It was the fight of my life was to keep that page updated appropriately because Google really didn't want to listen to me.
Oh yeah,
Google
we got
loves
a
listening to the customer. They
we
love
got a
listening to the customer.
oh
It's
yeah,
like,
we got
hey,
a
the
four
customer's
four
not right.
star four-star review yesterday. Great food, doesn't have dine in.
Like Google says it does, even though we say no dine in, and then Google hears that sees dine in a review and immediately turns it back on, and it's like, no, read the whole message. Guys, tell that
No
used to really
dine in,
frustrate
huh?
me.
And is
Yeah.
that at my jam?
What?
No, at
that
the
was
Honored
the
Chicken.
Honored Chicken.
Oh, at the Honored Chicken. Oh, okay.
Can you guys tell that used to really frustrate me? Darren, and then Darren would be like, hey, Google's not updated. And I'd be like, I just updated it a week
I
ago.
just don't understand. Google makes you hop through hoops now to become the owner of your page, but then they don't
Right.
trust. They'll trust Go Below Joe that will say one thing, make one change to your page, and they don't trust you, the owner of your page.
Yeah, it's one of those fights that I think they're getting better. I think they're really trying. I think they've understood. Well, and after they had a couple of really big debacles where people could just like change stuff that they shouldn't have been able to change. So I'm sure they're fighting. They're trying to make it better. But
But if you're
everything's always
the owner
improving.
of the page, with all they make you do now, with
Yeah.
opening the key to your door and opening your cash register and whatever. If you can do that, then you're the owner of the damn page. You're the owner of the damn page. The hours are the hours,
Right.
Yeah.
right? I understand
And
you want it to be as accurate as possible. Just don't
Yeah.
believe anybody.
And that's our hot take of the day.
Hot take of the day.
So I hope that answered that question. I went on a bit of a ramble. So
Man,
sorry.
no kidding.
Whoa.
I'm thinking about whether I want my ass chewed tomorrow or not, whether I want to do this Amanda post or not. I don't think I do.
She might not. She might just give you a little bit of shit. And just be like, what the hell?
I'm not going to be here. I'm running to St. Louis tomorrow anyway, so
Oh, jeez. See? Dodger.
Dodger.
Ah. Happy late birthday, Mom. 420. Blazing.
420.
And you get
There
to
you go.
spend it. You get to spend it with your whole family.
Really? Are you
All
brunching?
day long.
Are you guys brunching?
We're brunching and we're dinnering. We have brunch with my mom's side and dinner with my dad's side.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Whole shebang today.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make pizza crust, and then I'm gonna go home, put a ham in the smoker, and then I might make homemade egg noodles. I've never done that before, but it kind
You
of
know who
intrigues me.
You can get great egg noodles in Agency, Iowa.
Yeah, I know. I've had them.
Oh, sorry.
And then I'm gonna go load the smokers at Smoky D's.
Right.
And then I'm going to go to the Outlaws and have a very simplistic menu. And then I'm going to come home and find something to do because I'm not going to.
Randy, what are you doing today to celebrate?
I got 2 pits full of briskets that I got to get off here in a little bit. So
Is
and I
Marla
gotta
making
make
a
my wife
lasagna today?
breakfast. I'm making
Huh?
my wife breakfast.
Is Marla making like a holiday lasagna today?
no, I kind of threw that up on the board, and we're not
Didn't
doing
stick.
anything. I was told. So
Oh,
You're not doing
That's kinda
anything.
nice.
no.
I'm going to go home and make my wife breakfast.
that's nice of
No.
you.
I'm not going out to breakfast.
I gotta get
so-
ready. I gotta get ready for my. I have 3 Easters today. I don't even celebrate that, but I'm gonna enjoy the holiday. So I gotta get up. I gotta get ready to go.
So we got anything else?
I don't think so.
I think we're sufficiently at 59 minutes and 19 seconds or 12 seconds. So
All
By the
right.
time this is over, we'll
officially
hit an
filled
hour.
damn near an hour.
Yeah.
Hope Yeah, we hope you guys
I
enjoyed.
can go turn on the
that.
pizza press, and hopefully my pizza dough is warm, and I can bake off pieces and be out of here in a half hour.
Ew. Well, if you haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, you can now watch our episodes on there because we are officially adding videos to Spotify.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not up immediately because of how I upload episodes, but it will be up by noon on Mondays. So if you guys wanna watch us, you can do that now on Spotify. Please follow our podcasts as well. If you listen to them on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, yeah, hit that follow button because I like to see those numbers. And yeah,
Randy and I don't give a shit. We just come to shoot the shit because we never get to talk anymore.
BS. Solve the world's problems.
Yeah, I'm here to help us grow.
And we didn't
Or
talk
whatever.
about politics at all this week.
Yeah,
No.
and we're not going to. Okay, and that was it for episode 105. Randy, take it away.
Boom. Out of here. Finished. Done. Over with.
All right,
Boom.
we'll
We're gone.
see you guys next week.